childhood best friend's father was a locally known musician, and when we were little girls, we went to so many of his gigs that we became known as his #1 fan club. Her dad always made sure that his #1 fans got served free lemonade and muffins every time he performed. He was also an extremely kind man in general, and because he knew I didn't have a father, he'd sling me onto his shoulders and carry me around so I could feel like I had a dad. He ended up sadly passing away when she was in college, and when he did, he left her his 2 guitars. The 2 of us were devastated, and soon after he passed, my friend fell into a deep depression and got behind on her bills. She knew I played guitar. Her dad inspired me to pick it up. And so one day she asked me if I'd like to buy it from her. This guitar was from the 1960s. Her dad bought it when he was just 19 and played it for over 50 years, meaning it held a lot of sentimental value and hurt my friend to give away. I ended up buying it off her for more than it was worth, and the day she gave it to me, she cried and called herself a failure for having to sell her dad's oldest guitar just to pay her bills. She even apologized to her dad as she was handing it over to me. Well, about a year later at Christmas time, I called her and asked if I could come over to her place for some boy advice. She said sure, and I ended up at her door an hour later. I rang the bell, and when she opened it, I was standing there with a guitar case draped over my shoulder and a red bow on it. She looked at me and said, "What's that?" I looked at her with a cheeky grin. "It's Christmas time, babe. It would be rude to come here without a gift for you." I could tell she was trying to figure out what was in that case, and the second she realized, her eyes started welling up. She started wiping them, saying, "I don't want to cry, I don't want to cry. Screw it, I'm crying." And with that, tears of pure happiness just started flowing out of her. We hugged each other, and when she finally composed herself, I told her I wasn't giving it to her. I was just assigning her with exclusive permanent guardianship of it, and told her I still had the right to play it whenever I wanted. She laughed at me, brought it inside, and we went out to lunch.